confronted with the president's misplaced priorities in his first State of the Union address. But that doesn't stop liberal pundits from gushing over Biden's performance. Watch this.
One of the things he said in that, Carly, Joy Reid saying he's a foreign policy president. Fundamentally, that's his skill set. Joe Biden was Joe Biden for most of this. David Axelrod saying, I thought it was energetic. I thought he was clearly passionate. Dana Bash saying that was genuine. Van Jones saying Uncle Joe is back. I'm proud tonight we have a leader like him. Let's go now to Joe Concha.
It sounded better when you said it than when they said it on TV.
Nice. But let's not let numbers, though, get in the way of a good story that I had to tell because we didn't have the tape. That happens in live TV. Did Biden address these issues enough in the CNN poll? 69% said Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He did. But listen to this, Joe. Look at this. 47% said he did not address enough on inflation. 46% said he did not address enough on violent crime. How bad is it for Biden that he couldn't even break 50% on the two main issues, inflation and crime, that will determine the midterms?
Yeah, guys, CNN, Biden's 41% very positive reaction from viewers is the lowest in 15 years that they've had in terms of very positive reactions. So, look, I think all the pundits you just named, it's as predictable as the sun coming up in the east and birds flying south for the winter as far as them praising the president's speech. And if you notice, the common thread is based on emotion, that Biden had great energy, that Uncle Joe is back. But where's the substance, right? People want to hear substance. They want to know how the commander-in-chief is going to solve the problems facing them on inflation, on crime, on the border, on education, and obviously what's going on in Ukraine and Russia and what happened, obviously, with Afghanistan from a foreign policy perspective. So I think the pundit that I'll listen to on this, because she is extremely measured, and she even said she wanted to be generous, was Dana Perino, who said right after that speech that the address was uninspiring because there was no pivot, there was no change in terms of policy or approach. It's as if they took a speech that they had written for months and months and then just copy and pasted something that they wanted to include about Ukraine and praising the Ukrainian people for fighting so bravely, as they should have, and condemning Putin as the president should have, but then went right back to the same failed talking points that they've been talking about now for the past 6 months around Build Back Better and voting rights and all the list of things that they want to do in terms of spending more money to solve problems. And that's why this speech will be forgotten by the time we're speaking tomorrow at this time, guys.
Dana's key line, their view of accomplishments are actually vulnerabilities. Key line from Perino. Carly.
Well, after the president finished speaking, there were 3 rebuttals. One from the Republican Party, Kim Reynolds. That always happens. The opposing party always gives a response. Then 2 Democratic rebuttals. Rashida Tlaib did one for the Working Families Party, Progressive Party, and then Congressman Colin Allred spoke for the Congressional Black Caucus. And I just have to imagine, if you're a member of the Biden administration, you must be furious.
Yeah, Carly. I mean, look at the scoreboard right now. Democratic responses to a Democratic president's State of the Union beat the Republican response, the opposing party, 2-1. Right? So, yeah, that certainly muddies the waters a little bit and shows you how little support he has within his own party. And it's why so many Democrats now, a majority of Democrats, don't want Joe Biden to run for re-election in 2024. Look, yeah, that had to be disappointing for the president, Carly, no question.
That is not a unified party there, Democratic side. Joe Concha, we're unified with you.
Yes.
We're Concha fans.
We're in the Concha party.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks,
Todd.
We got to go, Joe.
Todd, you're like Rain Man, by the way, with the whole, like, you remember what everybody said. You're quoting Perino. You filled in the sound on tape that you didn't have before. I mean, let's go to Vegas sometime. Let's count some cards.
And I am an excellent driver. And I have to watch Wapner.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.